Ever mess around with those AI music generators? The ones where, like, you basically just answer a few questions and bam, you've got yourself an instant symphony.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten totally sucked in lately, I'll admit it. It's mind-blowing. But
Yeah.
it also kind of makes you wonder,
Wow.
is this, like, really creativity? Or is it
Well,
more like, I don't know, just a really high-tech way of picking options off a menu?
right.
That's what we're diving into today, actually, with
Yeah.
this piece by, get this, the Technomage.
Hmm.
Not your typical, like, dry tech review, right?
Yeah, not at all.
It's actually a really, I don't know, passionate look
Mm-hmm.
at platforms everyone's talking about, Suno.ai, Udio.ai, those
Yeah.
kinds. But more than that, it's really getting into how we even think about AI as this, like, creative force,
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, some of the examples in here, they really made me think. So let's unpack this. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it. What I find fascinating is that the Technomage, they kind of cut right to the heart of it right off the bat.
Yeah.
They highlight this difference between like just generating a product, anything, versus the act of genuine creation.
Oh, that's so true.
Hmm.
Like, I can type in, I don't know, make me a jazz song, and sure, I'll get something halfway decent. But is that the same as, sitting down, composing from the heart, from a place of real intention? The Technomage seems to think not, huh?
No, definitely not. They're arguing that true creativity, when you're using these tools, it comes from the vision you bring to the table. I think of it like this. Anyone can point a camera at something and click, right?
Right.
A true photographer, they're carefully framing that shot. They understand light, shadow. They're trying to evoke a specific emotion. AI music, it's no different. It's all about crafting these prompts that go way beyond just like simple genre
And
tags.
this is where that one example comes in, right? The one where they're talking about giving the AI this super specific prompt, something like 8-bit chiptunes, Japanese winds, bossa nova, with a feeling of nostalgia.
Hmm.
I mean, that already sounds like a wild musical roller coaster.
Exactly. And that's precisely their point, you see. The more specific, the more layered your prompts are, the more you're guiding that AI. You become the artist, not just the one pushing buttons. It's in those details and that fusion of elements that on the surface seem totally unrelated, that's where the human element really shines through.
So it's less about the AI, like magically composing on its own, and more about the back and forth, the
Yes.
refinement
Yeah,
process?
exactly. The Technomage, they describe it almost like a conversation, you know? They'll tweak the prompts, listen really carefully to how the AI responds, and then refine their approach based on that. It's about active engagement, kind of like a sculptor, slowly chipping away at the stone to reveal the masterpiece within.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. It's like the AI is giving you all the raw materials, right?
Mhm.
But you're the one shaping them, making the choices that turn it into something truly unique.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of like, the Technomage used this analogy that really stuck with me. The farmer and the grapes.
Mm.
What's that all about? The farmer and the grapes. Man, that one really got me thinking.
Yeah.
It's about curation, right? Like choosing the best stuff.
Exactly. That's the key. The Technomage points out, a farmer doesn't just harvest every single grape and toss it in the wine vat without thinking about it. They're picky, tasting, considering, thinking, okay, which ones are going to actually bring those complex flavors I'm going for?
Okay, now I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So the AI, it's kind of like churning out this whole vineyard's worth of musical grapes. And it's up to us, the human artist, to be like,
Sure.
all right, this melody, this chord progression right here, that instrument, that's the good stuff.
Yes, 100%. It's about making choices, refining what the AI gives you, not just accepting that first draft. The Technomage actually even talks about how they might go through tons of iterations, tiny adjustments each time to the prompts, just to see how the AI will react. That's where the artistry comes in, that back and forth.
Wow, this is making me realize I had this whole thing backward in my head. I was so stuck on that final product, like whether AI could ever really create something all on its own. But I don't know, maybe it's more about how we use these tools. It's the collaboration, the human element that's part of the whole process.
Now you're getting it. And it gets even more interesting because the Technomage, they don't just stop at music. They're saying this applies to anything that AI touches creatively. Visual art, writing, you name it.
So it's not about what tool you're using. It's not about paintbrushes versus pens versus AI programs.
Mhm.
It's the intent, those creative choices you make on the way that really make something art.
Exactly. The Technomage wants us to move past that whole debate. The whole, is it real art or not?
Hmm.
Instead, it's about asking different questions, more meaningful ones, like what was going on in the artist's head when they made this? What are they trying to say? What's the story? They're saying that vision, that purpose behind it, that's what matters. That's what makes it art.
That's actually, I don't know why, but that's kind of freeing.
Yeah.
It means AI isn't here to replace artists completely.
Yeah.
It's more like new kinds of brushes, new instruments just waiting for the right hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And that's what makes what the Technomage is saying so important. They're not afraid of these new technologies, but they're also reminding us that we matter. That spark of creativity, our own perspectives, you can't replace that.
It really makes you wonder, like, if you see something cool online, right? Say it's an AI-generated image. How do you even approach it? What question should you be asking yourself to know if it's, I don't know, just cool on the surface or if there's something deeper going on?
That's the million-dollar question, right? I think, honestly, it's kind of like with any art, you know? You're looking for those layers. You're trying to see the intentionality.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, did the person who made this, did they share anything about how they did it? What their process was like?
right.
Is there a sense that they were trying to do something more than just, hey, look what the AI can do?
So instead of just typing in like fantasy landscape and being done with it,
Mm.
maybe they talk about, I don't know, wanting to get a specific feeling or
Exact.
combining real places with a certain color palette to create a mood.
Yes. It's like, you think about it, right? There's a difference between one of those generic pictures on a postcard
Totally.
and a painting that like draws you in, makes you feel something.
100%.
And I think that's what the Technomage is getting at. The real magic is when we use AI as this like collaborator,
Yeah.
not just a shortcut. It's a tool that helps us take our vision and make it real.
You know, it's funny, this whole conversation has really been eye-opening for me because I feel like we get so caught up in that debate,
Which one?
you know, the whole can AI be creative,
Oh, right, right.
that we forget something kind of important.
What's that?
It's not even really about if AI can create art on its own. It's more about if we have the vision to use these tools creatively.
I see what you mean.
It's not can AI create. It's do you have the vision to make it art?
Mm.
That really stuck with me.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. At the end of the day, the Technomage is reminding us that AI, all of it, it's only as powerful as what we bring to it. Our creativity, our critical thinking, that human part of it, that's what makes it mean something.
This has been an amazing deep dive. Honestly, I'm sitting here thinking about all the ways AI is going to like change the creative landscape as we go forward. But even more than that, I feel like I'm going into it all with a different mindset now. It's not about letting AI do the thinking, right? It's about having a purpose, having intentions, and using these awesome tools to just take our own voices, our creativity, and like crank it up to 11. And on that note, I want to hear from you, our listeners. Hit us up on social media. Let us know, what would you ask an AI to create? Until next time, everyone, keep exploring, keep creating, and we'll see you on the next Deep Dive.